past few months, very quietly and cautiously, Santa Cruz Shakespeare staff and board have been examining what a 2021 season might look like. We believe that even in a best case scenario, we will not be able to produce a business as usual season that sees 15,000 visits to the Grove. That said, we have a few things going for us. The Audrey Stanley Grove is an outdoor venue. It is large enough that we can seat non-affiliated audience members more than 6 feet apart. Vaccine rollout is ramping up with full access anticipated by June, and we have all become accustomed to masks. Consequently, as of this moment, we are working toward a small, safe, socially distant, outdoor, and live repertory season. In order to keep everyone safe, we're working on a plan for the city and our professional unions that will include masking, rigorous cleaning, social distance seating, and other protocols. This plan will likely see a reduction in capacity of the Grove this year from 425 to around 175. When Larry and I looked at what that reduction meant for our earned income, it became apparent that we would not be able to produce what I call works of scale, or specifically large cast Shakespeare plays. Consequently, for this season, we have chosen 2 very small cast plays to perform in repertory starting in late July and running through the month of August. In addition to their live performances, these shows will also be recorded and made available virtually on a paid streaming platform for those who are not vaccinated or who otherwise do not yet feel safe returning to the theater this summer. And in addition to those 2 offerings, SCS will once again be providing Undiscovered Shakespeare to explore a different play in collaboration with UCSC's Humanities Institute Shakespeare Workshop and Sean Kylan. I do want to be absolutely clear before I move on to titles that your safety and the safety of our staff, artists, and artisans remains our highest priority, and we will be taking a hard look at the COVID situation starting at the end of March and continuing through May. If it seems at any point that the COVID situation for July and August will not be significantly better than it is currently, we will pivot to an entirely virtual season with the same lineup of plays made available to you solely in the comfort of your home. I, however, for one, remain optimistic that we will be able to gather once more this summer to celebrate the living, vibrating, shared space storytelling experience that only theater can provide, set against the beautiful outdoor backdrop that the Grove can provide and with the amazing artistry that your festival, Santa Cruz Shakespeare, can provide. And so, without further ado, our 2021 season announcement. There can be no question that we are navigating our way through an incredible time in history. Isolation, a pandemic, a renewed fight for racial justice, politics and the cult of personality, fake news, an attempted coup, a female multiracial vice president. Our modern days and nights are positively historic, and so, as we struggle to make sense of it all, it only seems appropriate that we turn to history. Hamlet, in his speech to the players, suggests that the purpose of good theater is to hold, as 'twere, the mirror up to nature and the very age and body of the time, his form and pressure. It is important that Hamlet specifies a mirror because a mirror and a play do the same thing. They allow us to look at something else and see ourselves. The plays of our 2021 season do that brilliantly. Each of them invites us to look back at a moment or moments in history to see ourselves, our world, and our time reflected back to us. They astonish us with their prescience, and they provide us with the distance we need to overcome the myopia of the present. The image in the mirror shows us our flaws and foibles, yes, but it also shows us what an enormous impact the individual can have on the present moment. With this impact, we ask ourselves the critical question that draws us back to our contemporary moment. What responsibility do I have to take action? First, in June, and as promised, we will be bringing back the wildly successful Undiscovered Shakespeare series that we started with the Wars of the Roses last summer. This year, along with UCSC Shakespeare Workshop and Humanities Institute, we will be tackling one of Shakespeare's most fascinating and vexing plays, Troilus and Cressida. Everyone is invited to join us for free as we read through this play episodically on Zoom and dig into the text with lectures from scholars and conversations with the cast. Swinging wildly between bawdy comedy, epic history, and tragic romance, Troilus and Cressida plays out against the backdrop of the Trojan War. With its examinations of honor, fidelity, pretension, romance, and war, this is a play that Joyce Carol Oates described as an implicit debate between what is essential in human life and what is only existential. Then, beginning in late July, live in the Grove, the first play of our regular season will be The Agitators by Matt Smart. The play tells the story of Frederick Douglass and Susan B. Anthony. Over the 45 volatile years that they knew one another, they were friends, allies, and adversaries. Their hopes and dreams for equality brought them to common ground and to political battlefields when their causes collided. As agitators, they were not just content to let themselves, our nation, or each other rest in complacency, and their respective fights for racial justice and gender equity continue to this day. A two-person play that spans decades, The Agitators will be directed by Paul Mullins and will star Santa Cruz Shakespeare favorites Patty Gallagher as Susan B. Anthony and Alan Gilmore as Frederick Douglass. In repertory with The Agitators, out in the Grove, will be the second show of our season, R2. Conceived and adapted by Jessica Kubzansky, R2 is William Shakespeare's King Richard II performed by only 3 actors. Fast-paced and nail-biting, this exploration of divine right, capricious leadership, and bloody insurrection is packed with contemporary political relevance. It tells the story of the king whose deposition sets the stage for the tumultuous Wars of the Roses and heralds a fundamental shift in monarchy from divine right to king as politician. A Critics' Choice pick when it premiered at the Boston Court Theater in Los Angeles, Charles McNulty of the LA Times called the play a feat of ingenious stagecraft. This will be the first production of this play since its world premiere. The last time King Richard II was performed at Shakespeare Santa Cruz was 35 years ago in 1986. R2 will be directed by Melissa Rain Anderson. As always, you can renew online through our website or by contacting Lexi or Vivian. I'll put their email addresses in the chat here at the end of this presentation so that you can have easy access to them. And that's it. Our plans for 2021. I dearly hope to see you all in person at the Grove this summer. Thank you so much.